let's get right into it, okay? So when people ask you, how much does this thing cost? How much does this thing cost? How much does this logo cost? How much does this website cost? How much does it cost to run a social marketing campaign for my company? How much? Well, when they say cost, what they really mean is price. And I did a little research. There is such a thing, and if you type on the internet, on Google or wherever, you can type in what is the difference between cost, price, and value, and you're going to find very different things. But I'm going to save you some of the trouble. The kind-hearted people that we are here at The Futur, along with Jonah and Ricky, who are joining me in the studio today, I've done the work for you. I've looked it up. I've distilled the information down to a smaller, bite-sized piece so that you guys can understand the difference between these three words. Let's get into it. So cost. When people ask you about cost, the answer that you're giving them may not be what it is that you think. Being very careful to put these things away for all the eco-conscientious people that it's not being destroyed, it's being saved here, okay? We'll recycle this, okay. Cost. Cost is defined as measured in time, effort for many of you guys, and materials. That sounds really reasonable. And I'll read the definition, paraphrase there. Cost is the amount incurred on the inputs, basically the raw materials, the salaries, rent, interest, taxes, duties, etc., whatever it costs you to make for producing any product or service, okay? It is the amount of money spent by the company is you, in the manufacturing of a product or creation of a service. Does that make sense? Okay,
Yes.
so if you were only to charge your clients what it costs, the best you could hope for is to break even. When you're billing hourly, you are basically giving them the cost of your time, but you're not accounting for things like if you're using your own laptop, your Creative Cloud subscription, your desk, the rent that you're paying to be able to do the work. There's a lot of things that you're leaving off the table. When I was younger, I think I was 16 or 17 years old, I started a design firm making t-shirts. I was working at a silk screening company and I wanted to sell my services to people. What I didn't account for back then, and if you're a young person not familiar with the way the business works here, is I basically charged people what it cost me to make, thinking that I actually had profit. And quickly, after a couple of transactions, thinking I should have money in my checking account, I came to realize I was running at near break even, or I was actually even losing money. This actually caused some grief between my mom and I because she was the one who opened up the bank account and she said, honey, you are losing money. And I just could not figure it out. So some basic accounting, some basic business would have saved my first real business, okay? So when you guys charge people what it costs you to make, you're going to go bankrupt pretty soon. You're going to go out of business because it doesn't account for any mistakes. It doesn't account for when your clients change their mind about something. It doesn't account for delays. It doesn't account for any mishaps or things that you didn't plan for, okay?